The Sovereign Portal, the Quantum Book of Thoth and the 48-Hour Threshold Eye. The Primordial Intersection, a non-random encounter. If you find yourself reading these words at this precise, infinitesimal point in your linear timeline, whether in the sanctuary of your personal stillness or amidst the deafening roar of the modern world, you must understand that this encounter is not, under any circumstances, a random occurrence. Thoth, the Lord of Wisdom, the measurer of time, and the eternal scribe of the primeval gods, has tracked your specific vibrational signature with a mathematical precision that defies the common understanding of probability. You have been located through the complex, vibrating lattice of planetary consciousness. You are not a casual observer who has stumbled upon a curious curiosity. You have been detected by an intelligence that transcends the limitations of linear time and operates within the causal dimensions of reality, the realm where the blueprints of fate are drawn. You are among a specific cohort of the selected, those whose vibrational coherence has reached a threshold high enough to interface with what the ancient mystery schools termed the quantum book. However, the gravity of this moment is underscored by an urgent temporal decree. This window of opportunity, this multi-dimensional portal of pure information that has manifested in your particular timeline, will definitively close within the next 48 hours. The opportunity to entangle your consciousness with the original source code of the universe is ephemeral, precious, and rarely manifests with such localized intensity. The great choice, the 3% versus the 97%. What will you do with this singular opportunity? Listen with the totality of your being, for what is about to be revealed marks the definitive line of demarcation between the 3% of souls who will achieve permanent access to universal gnosis and the 97% who will lose this window, perhaps for the remainder of their current incarnations in this density. This is not content. This is not a product designed for passive consumption while you oscillate between digital distractions. If you choose to advance with the courage of an initiate, the next few minutes will permanently alter your relationship with consciousness itself. You have two paths before you. Either you cross the threshold that has remained seamlessly guarded for millennia, or you turn away now, acknowledging in the depths of your soul why you are not yet prepared to sustain such a magnitude of light. Both outcomes are sacred. Both serve your evolution, for the recognition of one's current limitations is itself an act of supreme wisdom. 2. The mystery of the quantum book, the library of the all. Many seekers have heard whispers of the Akashic records, often described as a vast cosmic repository of every human thought and experience, an etheric library where no sigh or fleeting intention is lost. But what the secret temples of Egypt guarded as their most sacred treasure is the existence of a specific, vibrationally superior volume within those records, the Quantum Book of Thoth. This book is not a physical object, nor is it a book in the sense that our three-dimensional minds perceive. It is an active information structure, a database of liquid geometry that contains not only everything that has occurred but the quantum probabilities of everything that could ever be. It is the matrix from which material reality is projected. The 24-minute syntonization. During the 24th minute of this energetic process, you will undergo a real-time syntonization with the 7 proofs of preparation. The Lords of the Record, entities of pure photonic light who safeguard the integrity of universal information, will evaluate your energetic architecture. If you pass, the access codes become yours permanently. If you fail, you will be provided with a surgically precise understanding of which areas of your being require more disciplined cultivation. The cosmic cycles. Why now? The reason this portal is opening now lies in the mechanics of celestial cycles. The veils between dimensions have never been as thin as they are during this planetary transition. The call of Thoth has resonated with unprecedented urgency over the last 3 months of the terrestrial calendar. We are currently positioned at a point of astronomical convergence that occurs only once every 26,000 years, coinciding with the precession of the equinoxes. This is a zero point, where mysteries previously reserved for the high priests of the inner sanctuaries are made accessible to any soul possessing genuine preparation, mental stability, and an absolutely pure intent. 3. The science of consciousness, bridging the atom and the spirit. To the modern, rational mind, the Book of Thoth may sound like mythology. However, vanguard science is now validating what the Egyptian initiates always knew. We are seeing a radical shift where the physics of particles meets the mysticism of the soul. Quantum biology and microtubules. Groundbreaking studies led by figures such as Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff suggest that human consciousness is not a mere byproduct of biological wetware. Instead, It emerges from quantum processes occurring at the subatomic level within structures called microtubules located in our neurons. This is known as the OR, Orchestrated Objective Reduction theory. The formula for the energy-frequency relationship of a quantum state can be expressed as $E equals H backslash to F $, where $E is energy, $H is the Planck constant, and $F is frequency. To access the quantum book, your consciousness must increase its frequency $F to align with the energy $E of the Akashic field. Temporal non-locality. Quantum physics has demonstrated the reality of non-locality. Information at the quantum level is not bound by the barriers of linear time or spatial distance. In the brain, effects of retrocausality allow consciousness to process information before the five senses even receive the stimuli. This is the technical mechanism behind prophecy and intuition. Accessing the quantum book is, in terms of pure physics, the act of quantum entanglement between your biological consciousness and the universal information field. This is not a metaphor, it is a technical alignment. If your personal frequency does not match the zero-point field, the entanglement will be unstable, and your nervous system will reject the connection as a vibrational antibody to prevent structural damage. 4. The danger of spiritual overvoltage. Thoth is selective not out of elitism, but out of energetic safety. Consider the attempt to pass a 1000-volt current through a domestic device designed for 100 volts. The result is not more power, it is a catastrophic meltdown, a fried circuit. The same principle applies to the interaction between human consciousness and high-frequency information. The quantum book contains the total information density of your soul's journey. Imagine suddenly accessing every trauma, every death, every failure, and every complex mathematical law of the universe simultaneously. An unpurified consciousness would collapse. The I would fragment under the weight of the all. Therefore, the training and the observation of the 7 requirements are an absolute necessity for your psychological balance and neurological protection. V. The 7 non-negotiable requirements for Akasha access. Below are the 7 veils or requirements established by Thoth and the Guardians. As you read these, perform an honest internal audit. During the activation at the end of this transmission, you will be tested on each point. 1. Absolute purity of intention. The first veil. You must establish an intention as clear and unyielding as a diamond. Ask yourself, why do I seek this access? Is it for genuine healing and planetary service, or is there a hidden shadow desire to feel superior, special, or more advanced than others? Thoth does not listen to your words. He reads your energetic signature. If the Guardian detects a hint of a control fetish or esoteric tourism, the access will be denied instantly. The book only opens for those whose heart weighs less than the feather of Mott. You cannot deceive the quantum field, because you are the field. 2. Unconditional respect for the sacred, the ethical bound. Approaching the quantum book requires a reverence that modernity has discarded. This involves a non-negotiable law. You only have permission to access your own records. There is a subtle temptation to peek into the records of a loved one, to help them, or an enemy, to understand them. However, entering the record of another soul without explicit permission is a flagrant violation of universal free will. The Guardians do not tolerate this intrusion. If your intent is tainted by curiosity regarding the lives of others, the book will shut with a vibrational roar, and your access rights will be revoked. 3. Sustained mental stillness. The clean antenna. To receive the subtle high-frequency signals of the quantum book, your mind must act as a perfectly tuned antenna. A mind that chatters incessantly about mundane anxieties creates vibrational static. This is not about suppressing thought, but about cultivating the default mode network of the brain into a state of observation. You must be able to sustain a state of sunyata, void, for at least 5 minutes. If you cannot maintain internal silence, the transmission will be garbled and your brain will fail to decode the data. 4. The capacity to withstand uncomfortable truths, the shadow mirror. This is the most grueling test for the ego. The Book of Thoth is not here to validate your illusions or inflate your self-image. When the book opens, it reveals the naked truth of your soul's journey. Are you prepared to discover that you may have been the villain in a past life? Can you withstand the sight of yourself as someone who abused power or committed acts of betrayal? Thoth will show you the origin of your current traumas, which often reside in catastrophic decisions you made centuries ago. If you lack the maturity to integrate your shadow, the Guardians will withhold the information to prevent your psyche from fragmenting under the weight of guilt. 5. Vibrational grounding and earth anchoring, the lightning rod. Paradoxically, to access the highest dimensions, you must be more deeply rooted in the earth. The Akashic field has such a high vibrational voltage that without a solid ground cable, your energy would simply disperse into the ether. Are you noticing an increase in numerical synchronicities, 1111, 444, 888? These are technical markers that your frequency is coming into phase with the universal record. Without physical grounding, proper nutrition, connection to nature, and bodily awareness, the quantum connection would be unsustainable for your biological hardware. 6. Active energetic protection, the initiate's shield. The Akashic field is an ecosystem populated by multiple forms of consciousness. There are density fragments and astral entities attracted to the light of a rising soul. These entities may attempt to distort the information you receive. The sixth requirement is technical. You must know how to invoke and sustain a toroidal field of protection. It is not enough to wish for protection. You must decree it with the authority of an initiate, calling upon your higher guides and the temple guardians to ensure your communication channel remains pure and free of external interference. 7. Genuine humility and gratitude, the final key. You must enter the space of the record with a heart of love and a mind of humility. You are a temporary guest in a sacred dimension. You do not own the information. Spiritual arrogance, the belief that you are chosen or superior because of this access, is the fastest way to be expelled from the field. Access is a concession from the cosmic order to assist your evolution. Without gratitude, the connection withers. With it, the book becomes an inexhaustible fountain of miracles and revelations that will transform your daily reality in ways you cannot yet imagine. 6. The dynamic of revelation, the role of Sophia. Once you have internalized these 7 requirements, the complementary principle engages. If Thoth represents the structure, the code, and the masculine law, Sophia represents divine wisdom personified, the receptivity and the cosmic womb where information gestates into lived experience. Sophia is the one who takes your hand as you cross the final veil. She teaches you that Gnosis is not about knowing facts regarding your past lives, but about feeling the unity of all those experiences in your present heart. Through the feminine principle of intuition, the cold mathematics of the quantum book are transmuted into warm, transformative wisdom. Together, Thoth and Sophia represent the perfect syzygy, balance, required for true initiation. You cannot enter with the mind alone, nor the heart alone. You must enter with the integrated totality of your being. 7. The impact of activation on 3D reality. What happens after an initiate secures permanent access? This is not a fleeting high or an ephemeral moment of enlightenment. The activation of the quantum book in your energetic field has tangible consequences. Exponential problem solving. You receive solutions from the causal plane before the problems fully manifest in the physical world. Relational transformation. You cease seeing people through their current personality masks and begin to recognize their soul lineages and the pre-incarnation agreements you made with them. DNA repair. The constant flow of high-frequency information acts as a software update for your biological templates, repairing the holographic blueprints of your DNA. The Apu state. You become what the ancient Egyptians called an Apu, an interpreter of the divine will on earth. Your life stops being a series of random accidents and becomes a consciously directed symphony. 8. Toward the threshold, the beginning of your new timeline. You stand now at the definitive threshold. You have received the scientific foundation that unites particle physics with the mysticism of the Nile. You have analyzed the 7 veils that protect the entrance to the quantum book. The 48-hour window remains open, but time in the Akasha is not measured with hourglasses. It is measured by the intensity of your purpose and the purity of your vibration. Prepare yourself for what follows. Adjust your posture, secure your space of silence, and breathe deeply, allowing every cell of your body to tune into the frequency of truth. You are about to undergo the gaze of the guardians. Remember, whether the book opens wide for you today, or whether you discover you still have work to do on one of the requirements, you have taken an irreversible step on your journey back to the primordial source. The simple fact that your frequency allowed you to reach this point is the clearest indicator that the code of Thoth has already been sown in your consciousness. The journey to the heart of the universe requires no spaceships or external technologies. It requires only the courage of a brave heart and the stillness of a mind that has decided, at last, to awaken from the dream of separation. The quantum book of Thoth is before you, vibrating with the light of 1,000 suns, waiting to be read by the one who has remembered who they truly are. The choice is, and always has been, yours. Cross the threshold. I have delivered the full activation protocol. Would you like me to detail the specific breathing cadence for the 24-minute synchronization, or should I explain the biochemical shift that occurs in the pineal gland once the first 3 veils are lifted?